but it is, those are great fighters. Those are great athletes. They did all this. Rorion Gracie came up with this.
Rorion Gracie still runs his academy outside Los Angeles, passing along the tradition of jiu-jitsu to his sons and looking at the UFC as another member of the family.
It must make you proud on some level that here it is, this sport that you and your family invented is now this worldwide spectacle.
Extremely proud. I'm very happy with it. I don't watch it, but I'm happy. It's like a child of mine that grew up and is very successful. He might not have the same views I had, but nevertheless, he's a successful child and he's growing up and he's popular all over the world. My dream came true,
Coming up, for one of UFC's brightest stars, it's showtime.
You get nervous at all, or?
Oh yeah, this is 8 or 9 weeks all coming to fruition right here.
An aging brawler, Rich Franklin, fights against time and fatigue.
Physically it's tough, but it just wears on you mentally.
When Ultimate Fighting, Fistful of Dollars continues. We now return to Ultimate Fighting, Fistful of Dollars.
Rich Ace Franklin is getting ready for work. His job to hit, and hit hard. For 15 minutes of labor, this Ultimate Fighting champion will take home a 6-figure salary and maybe a bonus. He may also add another scar to his growing collection.
Let's go!
They call Franklin Ace because of his resemblance to Jim Carrey in the movie Ace Ventura. But there, the resemblance ends. There's nothing manic about this Ace. To hear Franklin tell it, his method is without madness.
God has granted me with the ability to fight, and my objective is to win. I never walk into a ring and in my head think, I'm going to hurt this guy and I'm going to hurt him bad. It's not the way I think. I understand that two guys are going in the ring and they're both trying to win and they're both willing to do whatever it takes.
Franklin has had dozens of injuries, broken hands and black eyes, and some battle bruises that will make your stomach turn.
After the Ireland fight, I got poked in the eye. When I got poked, it didn't cut my eye. It actually took a chunk of eye with the fingernail or whatever that was that cut me.
I mean, you're speaking about this like it's nothing.
Well,
chunk of my eye got taken out. No big deal. I'm back to fight again. Busted my nose. I'm back to fight again.
It's crazy. It really is crazy, but you kind of get used to the work hazards, I guess, a little bit.
Hazards that he never had to face at his old job. Before battling it out in the octagon, he worked here at Cincinnati's Oak Hills High School as, of all things, a math teacher.
This is where I taught. This was my classroom a long time ago, back in the day.
Did you ever think that you'd be doing what you're doing now?
No. If you were to ask me 10 years ago what I would be doing today, I would not give you this for an answer. I thought I'd be standing in a high school classroom teaching mathematics still.
You miss it?
I do. One of the things that working with the students makes you realize is that you come in here every day and you see these kids with dreams, big dreams, and they aspire to do things. And I had an opportunity in life where I could pursue a dream. Even though I had a great job and I liked what I was doing, it kind of encourages you or inspires you to do the same thing.
In 2003, Franklin, who holds a master's degree in education, went from shaping minds to knocking heads in the UFC.
How much of your decision to leave teaching and to do this was financial?
I knew that going into fighting, this could possibly turn out to be a financial blessing for me, but I didn't want to be that guy at 50 watching UFC 135 saying, man, I could have done that. I didn't want something to pass me by that I thought I could do.
To do it and do it right, Franklin trains every day as if he had a title bout that night.
What do you think the toughest part of this is?
The consistency of it. Mentally, just coming in here day in and day out, the daily grind. I mean, physically it's tough, but it just wears on you mentally. And by the time this is all said and done, it's at least a 40-hour work week, just with my training.
Not that Franklin is complaining. As the UFC has grown in popularity, he has become one of its biggest stars.
When I started this, Dana and I actually had a talk, and he said to me, he said, are you ready for to turn into a rock star? And I laughed, and I was like, yeah, whatever. But I knew in the back of my head that if that were to happen, it was just part of the job.
And a very profitable part of it, too. He's made millions inside the octagon and out through endorsements. It's a far cry from his $44,000 a year teaching salary. But like any aging pro athlete, Franklin is looking for an exit strategy that will keep the money coming once he leaves the fight game. Which is why this Jim Carrey look-alike has tried his alter ego's racket. Not only is the money good in film acting, the blood is fake.
When you're out on the set, you know, there's a bunch of people around. You've never done this before in this sort of setting. What's that like?
I feel like there are people just like standing around looking like, yeah, you can tell this guy's never acted, you know.
A little self-conscious out there at
Yeah,
times?
I'd say so. And I just got to keep trying to convince myself that I'm doing a good job, because I think if I do that, then it will relay itself on camera better.
The fans call you Ace because of your resemblance to Jim Carrey. Here you are in his craft. Have you had a chance to meet him?
No, but I think maybe he should try my craft out then. And that'd be great.
You think you'd have an easier time doing what he's doing for a living, maybe?
No. You know, I believe that, I mean, actors like that, I don't think I'll ever be as good of an actor as somebody like him. I'm a fighter, and that's what I do best.
He may be bitten by the acting bug, but for now, the lure of the octagon is still too strong to pass up. On the card in Germany, Rich was back in character as Ace Franklin for a face-off against tough Brazilian muscle man Vanderlei Silva. We were in Franklin's dressing room beforehand and saw a veteran fighter keyed up and ready to get it on.
Anxious?
Yeah, let's get the night over with. That's all I want.
You get nervous at all, or?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I just, this is 8 or 9 weeks, just all coming to fruition right here.
And Franklin's not the only one feeling the fight night anxiety. Just steps away from the octagon sits Rich's wife, Beth. Even after 6 years, she still finds it hard to watch her husband fight.
Hard to sit here and watch this close?
It is hard. I wouldn't be at home, though. I'd rather be here. But it is hard. The moment he comes out, my heart starts beating faster.
On this night, it would be no easier for either Franklin once the action began. Rich's fight was a back-and-forth battle that left both men woozy. After 15 minutes of fury, it all came down to the judge's decision.
The winner by unanimous decision,
The win was Franklin's biggest in years. He earned $150,000 plus a $60,000 bonus. Bruised and battered, in his mid-30s, Franklin is approaching the twilight of his career. He knows he can't earn a living fighting other men very much longer, but his victory guarantees him another big night in the spotlight.
What does a fight like that mean to you financially? I mean, it sets you up for probably a nice payday, right?
Yeah, I mean, you know, this is what I do for a living. I have a way better life than I could have ever possibly dreamed of. Even I've made more money already in my life than I would have made as a high school teacher in a 30-year career. Whatever it is that I do, I know that I can do in the future out of desire rather than need.
Coming up, it's not Halloween, and they're not Harvard MBAs. So how did these guys make millions off a blockbuster brand?
People who were seeing our clothes were seeing them on the UFC, and that's how we grew.
The story behind Tap Out, when Ultimate Fighting Fistful of Dollars returns.